Hello again, ladies, and welcome to day 4. We are already up to day 4 of our 5-day challenge, so one day to go after today. And our challenge, of course, is how to grow your list using live free content. And I'm Pauline Delaney, your host. Yesterday, if you were here or if you've watched the video, you know that we were talking about how to create your killer title and super juicy bullets to magnetize your peeps. And you were given some homework last night, and I know that at least one person has completed the homework because Cecilia has popped it up under yesterday's video. So if you do have done your homework and you'd like me to have a look at it and see if there's any tweaks we need to make, then please pop it below. Now, yesterday's homework was to come up with a title or a headline to come up with the form of content you're going to be creating, 5 teaching points or bullets, and a call to action. So who has done their homework? I sound like a teacher, don't I? But this is important because if you can implement along the way during this challenge, then you're going to find it so much easier than just taking in all the information and then finishing and going, well, that was interesting, and moving on to the next thing, because that's really wasted your time. We can get as much information as we want, but it's the implementation of that information that's really going to make you successful in your business. So I would really advise you to go, if you haven't watched the rest of the videos, the other 3, they are at the moment in the Facebook group, but they will be coming down. So go watch those and do the homework steps that I've recommended along the way, and that's how you're going to really build up the momentum and get things starting to happen in your business using live free content. So what are we talking about today? Well, today's topic is a step-by-step guide to nurture your list and prime them to invest. So up until now, we've been talking about how to attract people, who your ideal client is, getting really clear on that, and the types of content you can create, and how to make it sound really awesome when you when you have something that you've created, so that people are going to be motivated to want to sign up for whatever content you have created, or to buy it, or to download it, or whatever it is you need them to do. So today we're talking about taking it that step further. When they have signed up, they've put in their name and email address, they've said, yes, I'm going to come to your webinar, yes, I'm going to come to, I want your lead magnet, whatever it is, and then what's the next step after that? You don't want to cut it off there and say, great, they're on my list, I can sit back and relax now. Because as we know, you can't do that. Things are always changing. You have to be in top of mind all the time and make sure that they are constantly aware of you and being reminded of you and seeing you everywhere. And that's the way that you're going to build up that know, like, and trust factor faster, because it takes up to, I think it's 7 hours worth of close contact with someone, or experiencing them, for someone to decide that they're going to sign up for a high-end product or service. So 7 hours. So for example, on the video, doing a challenge like this 5 days a week can give you up to 5 hours of FaceTime with people. So that's a great place to start if you want to have that really build up momentum fast with your business and the live free content. So, okay, let's get into today's content. Now, today will be a shorter one because it's very short, sharp, and I have a few great points, particularly the email sequence I think is really, really key. And I'll just go through the format that should take. If you do have any questions, pop them below, and I'm happy to answer them. If you're watching it in a replay, then again, pop in your questions, and I'm happy to go back and answer them later for you. So you want to use live free content to nurture your list. You can do this in various ways. You can definitely be offering in your Facebook group, on your Facebook page. You want to be regularly going in and doing live streams. And this is something that I've been doing to a great effect recently, where I'll be listening to what people are saying and what they're talking about in my group, and I'll pick a topic based on that. And then I will devise a cool headline and create a live stream based on that. So I'll let my people know that I'm coming into the group. So I will put a post in the group, maybe the morning when I'm going to be in there in the afternoon, or the day before, telling them what the topic will be, what time I'm going to go live. And that's going to be much better than just turning up randomly and hoping people see you. I also send an email out to my list, letting them know of the topic I'm going to be talking about and the time I'm going to be going live again. So building up the buzz around the live stream. So that's a great way to use live content, particularly in your group or on your page if you don't have a group. And that will, you've already got an audience there. If you are someone who doesn't yet have a page or a group, then you can use your personal page, that's fine. And if you use your business page, then you can retarget those video viewers later if you're going to do Facebook ads. So that's a great thing just to have in the back of your mind there. And you can stream, you can take turns in your group or on your page, depending on what your aim is and what your intention is with doing the live streams. So live streams are brilliant. In their inbox, you want to get in people's inbox with emails, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, setting up a sequence of emails that people will receive once they sign up for your free stuff or once they get onto your list in some way. You want to be in lots of different places if you can. Now, I don't recommend being on all the social media platforms that exist in the world, because you would be on there all day if that was the case. Choose maybe 3 at the most, main ones that you're going to concentrate on, and that's where you're going to really master your social media strategy. Now, for me, Facebook is really number one, and that's the one that I use mainly. Other people I know, Instagram, if they've got a visual business or their people are there, depending on what their demographic is. Pinterest is building up as well, I've heard. And if you are a business-to-business business, then LinkedIn may be your platform of choice. So it's really important for you to expend the energy and time in the places that are going to be most beneficial to you, and spend your time productively, rather than doing a blanket, I'm going to bombard social media with everything I've got. So being really strategic is going to be more effective for you. Now, it's that shotgun approach where you're targeting people rather than scattering your shots so that you're hoping you're going to hit something. You want to hit a bullseye every time if you can. Having webinars regularly, having masterclasses, having workshops, whatever you like to call them. Those sort of things are brilliant for building up that concentrated face time, whether it's face-to-face or audio with you, and really making, cementing the effect that you're having with people. So really making sure that you're showing them what you can do and doing it in a way that's more of a it appeals to more of their modalities, not just writing a Facebook post, for example, but having that formal webinar, workshop, online masterclass, whatever it is, to get them name and email address, but still being live is very, very effective. And that means that you can get their details, because the key is to get them off Facebook if you can, or off out of your social media sphere and into your inbox. Into your email marketing system, so that you can then market directly to them. It's great to have them on Facebook. It's great to have a great group, for example. But if you want to be more direct and make sure that you're targeted with what you're offering, then you want to also appeal to them in your email marketing. And that means that you can multiply the effect of anything that you're doing. So say, for example, you're watching me do a live stream, and then you get an email and you liked it. Maybe it was good. And then you get an email from me. How much more likely are you going to be to open that email and read the email and take note of what's in it if you've just experienced, 5 days worth of challenge with me live? It really multiplies the effect by having the live content. Really multiplies the effect of your visibility factor, and means that you're going to be able to, if you're in different places, if people experience you in different places, subconsciously they're really getting not brainwashed, but they're really getting that consistent contact with you, and it's really going to build up the impression that they have of you, and it's going to make you be top of mind when things come up, rather than if they just spasmodically see you here and there and you're sending out an email once a month and they never see you again. So having that consistency is really going to be key. So you want to get their details if you can, so that you can then, they're making a commitment to you as well by giving you their details. If they sign up for a webinar, that's a much bigger Facebook post or something like that. It's much going to be much more effective, isn't it? If they, I've lost my train of thought now. If rather than them just having to say, oh, like, or making a little comment, if they're giving you their name and email address, it's taking it that little bit, that step further, where they are actually going to, I'm going to turn this thing off here, where they're actually going to make a commitment. And that means that they're more, once they've made that first commitment, then they're more likely to make a second commitment. And if you ask them to take an action, whether it's to join your Facebook page or your group or whatever it is, they're more likely to take that next step if they've already taken the first step. Okay. All right, so then you want to be able to nurture your list. Like I said, email marketing is brilliant for this. Now, I recommend creating automations to make it as easy as possible for you. So that if you have, say for example, you've got a great lead magnet that you've put out there, an ebook, or you've created a brilliant webinar and you want to follow up people from that, then you can create a series of emails that you can then have automatically go out to these people. That mean you can, once they've signed up for something, you then can sit back theoretically and you know that they're being nurtured because they have this regular email series set up that might take you a little while to set up, but once it's done, it's there for everybody who opts in. So automated nurture sequences are brilliant for doing that. And automation, I think, really should be the ultimate goal for an online marketer or an online entrepreneur. If you can automate as much as possible, then you're able to obviously scale your business, so you're not having to be there answering every email, sending every email, following up on every little thing that comes up. The more that you can automate, the more you can scale, you can leverage your business, have a larger audience that you're able to appeal to and cope with more, a larger influx of people. And also it means that you're able to concentrate on being live in the world rather than having to also do all this nurturing as well. So being live on Facebook and doing your live stream, doing a live webinar, and not thinking you have to also do all these other little niggly things as well. Okay, Kate, so what do you use for the automation? I use ActiveCampaign, which is a CRM system, a customer relationship management system that is brilliant and has lots of great features apart from the automation. It allows you to then send a broadcast or a newsletter to people, to set up and schedule emails, and also have those automations set up, which are triggered by a form that you create, which then goes into then allows people to go into an email sequence. And what is also brilliant with those is that you're able to then tag people. So you can tag people if they clicked on a link in the automation, in an email. You're able to tag them if they signed up for something. You can tag them if they watched a video that you put in there. All those things are brilliant for your to be able to get stats on things, and then to decide, you can then segment your group so that you can send an email to one section but not another section, and it gives you so much scope to really be strategic with the way that you market. Now, ActiveCampaign is a paid subscription. It's not at the level of something like Infusionsoft, which is, the one that the really high level online marketers use, but they also are paying very high premium prices for that. If you are just starting out and you haven't done anything like this before and it's completely new to you, then I would recommend MailChimp. MailChimp is very good and it's a great way to learn, and you can start off with a free account. MailChimp over a spreadsheet, for example, is much, much superior, because still it's going to allow you to create a form that people can then put their name and email address in, and it'll allow you then to capture that, to put them on a list, and then to send emails to them, either as an automation where it is triggered automatically, or you can have a list of people or various lists, and you can decide, I'll send an email to this list or that list, and you're not having to manually put everything in. So definitely think big when you start. You might think, oh, I've only got 5 people on my list, I can just email them. Well, if you want to scale your business, then you're anticipating that that list is going to grow very fast. And you want it to grow that very fast. But that means instead of sending 5 emails, all of a sudden you're sending 10 or 20 or 100 emails. So the earlier you can automate or get that, the systems in place, the better. Okay, and if you want to start with something like ActiveCampaign, that is brilliant. I know most people are hesitant to pay for something like a CRM system until they work out exactly how it works. Okay, awesome. Yep, that's great, Kate. So you're in the right place. Excellent. Okay, so there are 4 real steps to automation, and they are very simple steps. And I'll just go through what they are, and then we'll go into the email sequence, because that's really, really key. So step number 1 is to create the perfect lead magnet. So the perfect freebie, something that's going to really attract the attention of your ideal client and make them take the step of giving you their name and email address. Number 2 is to then take them on a journey, and that's what you do with the automation. So you start from where they are with the lead magnet, you send them out several emails, which I'll go into in a sec, and then you want them to end up at a place where they have a lot of knowledge, they have a lot of experience, a lot of great strategies from what you've given them, but they also are aware of what the next step is, that they still haven't solved their problem, and that's where you come in and you're able to then offer them a solution to that. So you want to take them on a journey that leads them to your solution at the end. So you're going to reverse engineer that and then create that email sequence. Nurturing them along the way, not selling to them the whole way, but giving them great information and giving them hints and seeding what is needed as you go through. That's a great word, seeding. Then you want to go into the details, so the purpose of the emails. That's step 3, and then the headlines are really important. So the 4 steps to automation are, number 1 is to create the perfect lead magnet. Number 2 is to take them on that journey. Number 3 is to go through the details of the emails. And number 4 is the headlines. Now, the details for the emails. I have created an email, a 5 email nurture sequence ebook that really goes through this in detail. So if you would like access to that, then please say ebook please below, and I will send that out to you. Some of you may already have it, but that will give you a brilliant overview on how to create this email sequence. And I have a lot of examples in there of an email sequence that I have created myself, so that you can really get a good picture on how to do it. When you are creating this email sequence, you can start off with a 5 email nurture sequence. Oh no, Kate, you've asked what cost for ActiveCampaign. I'm not sure. I think it starts maybe at $49, and that's US, but I haven't looked at it for a while because it comes out automatically. And it depends on how many people you have as to how it can scale from there. Okay. There we go. Thanks, Belinda. Okay. So, yeah, it will get higher the more people you have. But, of course, then if your list is growing, then it's worthwhile you spending that extra money. And the key as well, if you can start with something like ActiveCampaign, it means that you're not having to jump across. Or it's not terribly hard if you have a small amount of people in your database, but obviously if you are at MailChimp and you get to capacity and you feel that there are not enough features and you want to move across to ActiveCampaign, you do have to take everything with you. So if you are planning to start fast, then maybe investing in something like ActiveCampaign is a good option. There are other ones out there as well that do different things. There's One Shopping Cart, there's Aweber, there's GetResponse. There's all sorts of different ones out there, and it really depends on you and what is going to work for you and your business. But ActiveCampaign is one I have found is very good, and it's very step by step, which is exactly what I love. Okay, so getting into these emails, the email sequence, the 5 email sequence that you want to be able to send out is quite simple. Like I said, if you want my ebook, then comment below, because that goes through it in more detail. I'm just going to quickly gloss over it today to give you an idea. So a 5 email sequence. The first email that you would send out would be a welcome and congratulations, and would actually contain a link to whatever it is they've signed up for, this freebie that you've offered. Number 2, oh great, yes, great Belinda, that's a great point. Okay, Kate, so have a look at what Belinda's got there that she did. Yeah, and if it's starting at $14, you may be quite limited with that, but you jump up easily, and it's not hugely expensive, and it's a great investment in your business. Okay, because I was in another one before. I was in One Shopping Cart, I think, and I had been in there for a couple of years, and I had so many different lists and so many automations set up that changing across to ActiveCampaign was a huge thing, because I wanted to replicate all of that in there, and it just took me forever to do that. So if you can start the way that you mean to go on, then that is really, really good. Okay. All right, so let's go on. So number 1 email is congratulations and welcome. So in that email, you're going to make them feel good about the decision that they've made to sign up. You're going to emphasize how great it is that what they've signed up for, and you're going to have a link in there for the actual download. Number 2, the next day. What did they think of your offer? Send them another email, give them another link in case they didn't do it the first time, because as we know, just because you got an email that had a link in it doesn't mean that you actually opened the email or that you actually clicked on the link. So people need things multiple times. You may even find it's good to put the link in an email multiple times, because we are such scanners. Everything is happening so fast that everything needs to be as easy as possible. So you have small amounts of text in these emails as well. A long email, people are going to get lost after the first paragraph. So you want to make sure that you've got the link in there a few times. So number 2 is to remind them about the free offer that you've given them, and to ask if they enjoyed it. Maybe give them a little tidbit about what's in there, and that will encourage them to go, wow, that sounds good, I better click on this link. Number 3, which can be the next day, be generous and provide more value. So this next email is going to give them a little bit more. You're going to maybe share some tips or a client story or a testimonial or something like that, that's going to build on the freebie that you've given them. And really what it's doing is it's giving them social proof. It's showing them that you know your stuff and that you understand them and that you can really, really help them. Because that's the idea. The idea of this email sequence is for them to get to know you, to realize what an expert you are, and as an ultimate goal, to have them sign up with you in some form, invest with you. So email 3 is to be generous, provide more value. You're going to be sharing tips or a story or a client testimonial, and you're going to start to suggest the next step, what they haven't got yet, what the next step is going to be. Because the more you can seed this through your email sequence, the more chance you have at the end of them not coming as a shock that you're suddenly making an offer. And they're going to be ready for the offer then. So email 4, you can make an offer. You'll still give them great value in this email as well. Maybe put in a different client story, or maybe choose a different aspect of your lead magnet to focus on. You know, on page 6, where I talk about this golden nugget about how to lose weight when around your kids, and even though you're not getting enough sleep, whatever it is, talk about that, and that's going to make them go, oh, I better go and read that bit. And it just gives you that something interesting each day for them to read, and they'll be ready for the next email as well. So they're not going to go, oh, another email from her, I'm not going to bother with that, I've already read some of hers. You want to make them really excited to receive their next email and interested in what you have to offer in the emails. Okay. And sharing a story of how you or someone else overcame the problems that they are coming to you with is really powerful too. So that's number 4. Number 5 is another email, which can be a day later as well. You can put 1 or 2 days between these. You don't want to spread this over longer than maybe 10 days, I would say, because you want to keep the excitement high. You don't want them to forget about you and the offer and the lead magnet. You're going to make your offer again. So number 5, the reason for this email is to strengthen your call to action, which you gave them in the last email, which was an offer. And then, strengthen your call to action, remind them of your offer. So again, you're going to maybe include a client story or a great tidbit or strategy or something that they can use, and you're going to then make an offer again. Now, the offer is going to need to be very, very congruent with the email sequence and the reason that they entered your email funnel in the first place. So there's no point you telling them, they've come in, you've given them an easy, attract your next client in 5 days, your next high-level client in 5 days, and they've opted in for that. And then at the end of it, you say, and now you can sign up for my 3-hour intensive about how to create your weight loss plan. So of course that's a mismatch and you wouldn't do that, but you get what I'm saying. It really has to follow on, and it really needs to be leading for all the way on that journey, the seamless journey from when they enter your funnel to when you make an offer. And the offer needs to be the logical next step. The next step that they have become aware of during the email funnel and the education you've been giving them, that's what they need. And it's going to be a no-brainer then for them to want to take you up on whatever offer that is. So you want to know them inside out and anticipate their next problem. Now, you want to be able to keep your prospects on your list long term, because once you've had this email sequence, of course, that's not it. You don't just say, okay, great, well, I've done my dash with them, let's just leave them alone. You continue to nurture them. And that's, so you want to send out regular emails. Now, for me, I send out 2 emails a week on average. And I know that for many people that is scary and they feel that they could not possibly do that, and people will be offended having these emails in their inbox, but it works really well. You can build up to that. If you are at 0 at the minute, or once a year, or once every 6 months, build up slowly. Start at once a month, then move to once a fortnight, and maybe once a week. Because if you have something to offer people and you're only sending out an email once a fortnight or once a month, then every email you send out is potentially going to be a sales email, and that doesn't go down too well. But if you're sending out 2 emails a week, it's very easy for you to send lots of value emails or newsletters that have great tips, have great things that you want to share with your people that they are really excited to hear about, and it doesn't have any selling in it, doesn't have any call to action, it's just great content. And then you're able to intersperse those with the sales emails without them feeling that that's all you're sending them. It gives you that scope. They're used to hearing from you regularly, and that's key as well. Building up that consistency so that they know, oh, I hear from Pauline on Tuesdays and Fridays each week. What's she got in the email this week? Rather than you just sending out one occasionally, because you're likely to get lost there. And if you're also compounding the email marketing with the live streams in your group or online, and those people are seeing you in multiple places, then they are going to be more inspired and motivated to take action by clicking on your email. As I said before, if they've just seen you do a 5-day challenge live and then you send them an email, they're going to be more likely to click on that rather than if they haven't seen you anywhere and they get an email from nowhere. Continually change up what you're sending them. So you're giving them different stuff. You might send them a client story one day. You might send them, like I mentioned before about the live streams I've been doing in my group, I will then repurpose those and I will send them to my list as well as an email. There's a ready-made email. I might do a little summary of what I've talked about in the live stream, but I send that out as well. So I'm giving them great value and they can watch that video then. It's very easy to upload that to YouTube and then to send it out through ActiveCampaign or MailChimp. So you can sometimes have text emails, you can send them statistics, you can send them great articles, you can, I'm very big on repurposing your content. So if you write an article for someone, you can then break that article down into 5 points and send them people an email on each of the points. If you write a blog, a great blog, you can send them a link to the blog, or you can break the blog down into points and then send them those points in, you know, a series of emails, for example. You can invite them to your events. That's a great thing to do in your emails. Have bonus calls. If you've got a great new free content, PDF or something like that you've created, you can just send it out randomly to them as a special gesture to show them that you appreciate them being on your list. Okay. And of course you need to have great headlines, because there's no point in having brilliant emails that you're sending them without having a great headline. So I did talk yesterday a bit about headlines. So if you missed that one, go back and have a look at it again. But that is the way to dramatically increase the open rate of your emails and to make sure that people are actually going to get them and read them. Because otherwise, you know, what's the point of having a brilliant email or a great blog or a brilliant piece of free content even that you're going to do if they're not being captivated enough by the title or the subject or the headline to take the step to actually use their time and energy, invest their time and energy in whatever it is you have to offer. Okay, so that is probably about it for today's content. Now, any questions, pop them in below. I'm happy to answer them. So Kate's asking, does it link to ClickFunnels, ActiveCampaign? I use Leadpages. I don't use ClickFunnels, but it links beautifully to ActiveCampaign, links beautifully to Leadpages. I would suspect it would work with ClickFunnels as well, because that's a major email lead page generator as well. So I don't think you'd have any problems there. And if you go there, there's a list of the integrations that ActiveCampaign have. And it's very easy to integrate, like I said, well, for example, Leadpages, I easily integrate GoToWebinar and ActiveCampaign with that. Most of them are very easy to integrate. And I know that there is another software called Zapier, which I haven't used, but one of my colleagues has used. And for the things that she is not able to integrate, that is a software that integrates things. Of course, there's a fee involved with that, but that enables you to integrate the things that don't normally necessarily integrate together. So there is a way around everything. But if you are setting up an email series and you're setting up your online marketing, if you set it up right from the start, if you're strategically choosing the things that will match really well together and integrate well together, it's going to make your life so much easier, streamline the way that you do things, and also save you money so that you're not paying out for things that you don't need. All right, so homework. Homework for today is create headlines for 5 emails and come up with 3 ideas for an awesome lead magnet. Now, I am going to put this in the chat box, in below. I'm just going to find tomorrow's, oh, there we are. So that's what today's homework is. So 5 headlines and come up with a great email sequence. Come up with a great lead magnet idea. Now, I'm just getting on to tomorrow's. Where are we here? Sorry. Where are we? Day 5. So tomorrow what we're talking about is, my computer's a bit slow. So tomorrow we're talking about how to learn the secrets to making the perfect pitch from your free content without sounding salesy. And I do have a special offer for you tomorrow that's going to be enable you to then put all of this into practice easily, simply, and effectively. So stay tuned for tomorrow when I come up, when I give you a special offer at the end of day 5. If you have any questions and you're watching the replay, pop them below. I will come back and I will check this out and I will answer any questions. Put in any copy. I helped Cecilia out yesterday with her headlines, and I'm happy to help any of you out with anything that you're not sure of or you just want a little bit of feedback on, because that's what I love doing. It's really exciting and it's going to help you out. So I have really enjoyed being here with you today, ladies. It's been fantastic. Thank you for your interaction, and I will see you again tomorrow, and you will have done your homework, and I'll see you then. Okay, bye, ladies.